Everybody, welcome to yet another, the most highly anticipated videos I've ever made. Northernlion ranks all common pizza toppings. To be honest, I wish there was a list that was a little bit more robust, okay? I mean, this is merely like 20 toppings, but this will cover the basis. On the patent-pending right, great, good, so-so, low-tier stuff scale, as made in a tier list by Honey's Anime EN. On brand, okay. Can I be honest with you? Out of all the tier lists I've ever made, I think this one is the most likely to cause problems. Most likely to cause anger. Most likely to cause me to ask the question, is this imitation? Are you imitation crab? This is an East Coast American thing. Okay, interesting. I think it's an East Coast American thing anyway. I want to start off by saying, I hope we can all celebrate our love of pizza before we get angry at one another. Pizza toppings are a very sensitive subject, particularly pineapple, for sure. I am gauging pizza toppings on a completely objective merit. How much I like them, how often I get it. That's basically it. You might say, you know, hey, why not gauge it based on, would you be likely to put this on a shared pizza? Is this going to exclude people from eating it? Well, if you're buying, you can put whatever you want on the pizza. That's the right stuff tier. Your pizza that you pay for with your own money, that's in the right stuff if you're giving me a free slice. This is my hypothetical pizza with my real money. Let's get started. Also, I eat some weird pizzas. I eat a lot of pizzas that, on the West Coast, here's how they make a pizza a lot of the time, okay? You can get your traditional pizza at Papa John's, etc., etc. Sometimes, though, it's just a circular flat disc of cooked dough, pesto, throw a handful of green leaves on it, olive oil, and then, like, hazelnuts. And I'm like, ooh, can I get some organic honey on this? And they're like, yeah, it'll be $150. And I go, of course, here's my credit card. And I love it. Every single slice. Where am I going with this? Look, we're just having fun. It's what I'm trying to say. All right. I'm glad we're starting strong. How does bacon rank as a pizza topping? Without a doubt. Well, let's, you know, if there's only 20 toppings, we might as well belabor the point, shall we? I'm not putting it in good stuff. I'm putting it here to deliberate. Personally, I think Italian cured meats, or cured meats of any variety, are never better than when they're on a pizza. A salami gets better on a pizza. A bacon gets better on a pizza. Even ham. Like, for dinner, if you were like, here's some ham, I'd be like, okay, if I gotta. If you put ham on a pizza, I'm like, it's magnificent. I would lay down my life to protect this. Bacon, in my opinion, one of the best. Adds a great amount of saltiness. Little bit of crunchiness if you got it a little crispy. You can have it in, you know, half-inch long strips. You can have it in bits. It gives you a different thing, no matter what you're asking for there. I'm a big fan of this, without a single doubt. I have nothing negative to say, and I wish I did because it would make me appear more balanced. There's one negative thing. It's not a protein-rich source of protein. You know, whenever they're like, and that's not even from a healthy standpoint, it's just like, you know, sometimes pizza places are like, you get your choice of meat. Bacon, it doesn't feel like a meat to me. Because it's so thin and little compared to, like if you got grilled chicken on a pizza, they're going to throw on like a lot of it usually. You get bacon on a pizza, it's like a sheet of pork paper. So I think it works best in a duo with another meat attached to it. But if you're just giving me a cheese and bacon pizza, yes, please. Absolutely. Now, steak. This is going to be controversial. I have had steak on a pizza. I think steak is kind of like an inverted cured pork product, to be honest with you. I think I love beef in general. You can take that out of context if you want. I'm not afraid to admit it. I love beef. I'll eat a steak. I'll eat, you know, I'll eat beef stew. I'll put ground beef in a chili. I'll eat a hamburger. You know, Kate and I, when we were away for her birthday, We went to a steakhouse, had some beef tartare. I'll eat it raw, dude. And oh baby, I like it raw. On a pizza, something about the texture and consistency of a steak on a pizza, it doesn't interest me as much as it does in a pizza bereft environment. I'm putting this in the low tier spot, to be honest. I would rather have almost any other meat on a pizza. It's not an insult to beef. It's just like, hey, you don't belong here, beef. Get out of here. Go back to your natural environment, being one of the most flavorful and common meats for dinner consumption. You don't have to take over the pizza environment as well. Get out of here. It's beneath you to be in the pizza environment. Peppers of all variety. It's a tough one. I have a lot of nostalgia for peppers on a pizza, because it's the way that they're cut, right? Like if you go to the mall food court, they're always cut like in cross sections, so you get a big like circle of pepper that crosses like multiple slices, and like it looks cool, but then you bite in and you pull out the whole pepper, and then the cheese comes off and you try to mash it. Anyway, you get the idea. You can also dice a pepper, put it on a pizza. By the way, green, yellow, red, I'm okay with all of them on a pizza. In culinary purposes, I probably like a red pepper the most, but I think peppers are a little overrated in general. I'm going to save that hot take for the vegetable tier list, though. Forthcoming. I think peppers on a pizza are in the good tier, to be honest with you. I think that they are an acceptable vegetable to add to a pizza. A little bit of crunch, a little bit of flavor, not overpowering. And I will say, this might not work in their favor necessarily. I don't want to be, I don't want to bring in too many cooks into the deliberation process. They're a well-liked vegetable, which means sometimes if you're out with picky eaters, they're like, would you mind if I put peppers on it? They're like, yeah, okay. You're going to be okay, probably. Broccoli. We're putting it in good for deliberation purposes. I like broccoli. I've had many a broccoli pizza. But I will say, I don't think it's a great pizza ingredient most of the time. I've had it work well. I've had it work badly. And I think as a result, I got to put it into so-so. I think this pizza, you need to build around. If this is your first pick ingredient, you can't just be like, oh yeah, give me a pepperoni pizza with broccoli. You got to be like gluten-free crust, pesto sauce, feta cheese, kale, broccoli, and capers. You got to get something totally off the map to make it work, But if you do, it can be your Connor McDavid. It can carry the whole pizza for you. In a normal pizza situation, it's something about like broccoli cooked too long in too hot of an oven. It turns like yellow, and it either gets like, it's too crispy or it's too soggy, and and it's so tall relative to the rest of the pizza. It gives the pizza a real topology to it that thanks but no thanks most of the time. So I'm putting it in so-so. This is a weird one for me. Cheese. I personally operate on the assumption that unless stated otherwise, a pizza bare minimum consists of 3 ingredients: dough, sauce, cheese. If I ever called a pizza place, because it's 1996 in my mind, and I went, hey, I'll take a pizza, and they went, sure, what do you want on it? And I said, just pepperoni, please. And I got a box of like dough, sauce, and pepperoni with no cheese. I would call the pizza place back and say, hey, buddy, you know who you're talking to? One of the top 2,500 tier list creators on YouTube. And he would say, this pizza place has not existed since 1900. You're calling a ghost right now. It's a spooky story. So I'm assuming that this is adding a second cheese to the pizza, okay? Because here's the thing. I don't see dough. I don't see tomato sauce. Dough is obviously not a topping. But if cheese is a topping, tomato sauce should be a topping. It goes on top of the dough. I'm very angry by this. But, so here's the thing. Don't take this out of context. I'm creating context. If it's asking about cheese on a pizza in general, it's not even close. It's obviously right tier. It's so far above the right tier as to be ridiculous. If we're talking about cheese as a second ingredient, I think it's good. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now. If we're talking about throwing a Parmesan on top, if we're talking about adding an Asiago or a Formaggio blend or a, one of those 3 cheese pizzas or something, I'm for it. But I don't think it elevates it too much. I prefer other toppings. Now, I'm assuming these are tomatoes and not tomato sauce. I feel like every tier list I end up saying this. I don't like tomatoes very much. I eat them a lot because they're good for you, especially as a man. Tomato rich in lycopene, good for the health of your heart. You should start caring about that stuff, especially if you're eating 4 slices of bread coated in milk fat. Maybe with a little salted cured pork product on top. I'm not saying it's going to negate the ill effects of the pizza. I'm just throwing that out there. And again, we're assuming this is not tomato sauce. But I kind of like a tomato on a pizza. And this is also the classic parental gotcha. Even as a kid. Tell my parents, I don't really like tomatoes. They're like, whoa, do you want some pizza? I'm like, yeah, obviously, Dad. And then they're like, well, pizzas have tomatoes. And I'm like, that's different. And it is. Tomato sauce is kind of sweet. Tomatoes are a little bit more juicy, acidic. Plus, a tomato. For me, the problem with the tomato that I'm still getting over, even as an adult, and it's embarrassing, is that it's like a really big grape. You bite in, and the skin is like thin, and then the inside is so juicy. And that sounds good to a lot of people, but it's not really for me. But tomatoes on a pizza, I do have to admit, certainly it's over broccoli. So let's keep that in the good tier for now. Chicken. With no hesitation, I place this in the great stuff tier. I do eat a decent amount of chicken, as I'm sure many people watching this do. A baked chicken breast, a grilled chicken breast, boneless, skinless, white meat. Take it or leave it, right? It's not the most flavorful thing in the world. Mostly it's a good salad topper. But I think, again, it's like the opposite of beef. A bland grilled chicken breast, I sleep. Put that on a pizza, wonderful textural addition. Something about the intermingling of textures and flavors. It totally works. I think chicken is a great pizza meat. Now, if you ask me in real life, do you want to have a steak? Do you want to have a chicken breast? I'm taking the steak. If you ask me 7 days in a row, I'll take 5 steak, 2 chicken, please. We'll break it up a little bit. But I think in the pizza world, chicken might not be the emperor, but it's like the king, at least. It might not be the king, but it's like the duke. It might not be the duke, but it owns a barony. You know what I mean? It's not the top, but it's just below. Corn. Corn's a weird one. I lived in Korea for a year, in case you don't watch any other video. In other videos, I've mentioned it, I don't know, every day, because it's the only interesting thing I've done in my entire life. They love corn on pizza in Korea. Corn, mayonnaise, sweet potato puree, mustard, potato itself. Some of it I can get down with, some of it I can't. I think corn on a pizza is actually fine. The dream is charred or grilled corn. When you get the corn that's golden brown, a little blistered even, you put that on a pizza. You got to be careful because it's like you bite in and it is an explosion of sweet corn juice into your mouth, which can be a little off-putting. But I think if you do it right, it can be good. But it's certainly, I wouldn't go for it most of the time. I have reached an age, by the way, where you're like, maybe you should just be asking yourself, would you eat a pizza with corn on it? Yes or no? That's not a good question for me. If I am at a place that is pizza out, I will eat the pizza. It doesn't matter what's on it. Like it, dislike it. Consider it the greatest food ever, an unholy abomination to all that is good and just and pure in this world. I'm taking a slice, if the slices are available. When I was 10, does that pizza have onion on it? No deal. Still remember as a kid picking mushrooms off of pizza. Ridiculous. I know you're like, I do that. Just listen to me. As bad as a taste might be to you, no taste is more unpleasant than digging your fingers into your food, messing up the integrity of the slice, then leaving them in the box for other people to look at and be disgusted by. Just bite in. If you don't like it, so what? At least you're not taking 10 minutes to prepare your slice. What was I talking about? Okay, I got strong opinions, all right? Corn, that's a so-so ingredient in my opinion. Why is it so-so? Got to be done right. This is just madness. So, like, imitation crab, or real crab for that matter. Look, I'm going to level with you. I'm not saying no to it. And I've had some good, my parents, sometimes when we go there, they make a lobster pizza. It's incredible. My dad is like, he's a hobbyist baker. He bakes his own pizza dough. They put like a butter sauce rich in garlic on top of it. Cooked lobster, cheddar cheese, put it under the broiler, hit it with a little parsley. It's beautiful. But you notice something about that? It's a serious build. This is not something, it's not a common pizza ingredient. You wouldn't just be like, again, give me a cheese pizza with some imitation crab on top. It's a little strange. But I have had some seafood pizzas in my life. I'm not saying no to them, but this is a little weird. If you're living somewhere that this is not a little weird, you're the weird one. And that's cool. Embrace that weirdness. Keep it weird. Expand your horizons. But just know that the rest of us are going, crab pizza? Really? NL, don't you come from a country where they pour maple syrup on the snow and eat it? Yeah, but like it's not a thing we do. I've done it, but I only did it to be like, weird. I wonder if it works. Plus, I grew up in the country. We didn't have anything else to do. Eggplant? Dude, I'm making a lot of enemies today. This is a low-tier pizza ingredient for me. Can I give you... I had a lot of good reasons for the other ones. Eggplant is the easiest reason of all time. I just don't like the taste. I think this is the 4th time I've said this in a tier list video. I wish I liked eggplant more. It is in a lot of Italian cuisine in particular. I still eat it from time to time. And I love a baba ganoush. I do. Baba ganoush is a dip or spread that eggplant is a big part of. But I don't really like the eggplant itself. And I don't really like it on a pizza, to be honest. It's kind of like putting it's got a similar consistency when cooked. Well, probably not when cooked properly, but it's a little like cucumber-ish when it gets cooked. I love cucumber, but then when it's cooked, it's like hard skin, and then the inside is just hot slime. That phrase itself will probably get this video demonetized, but that's okay. Moving on. Tomo, would you like to leave the room? It is. We're 19 minutes in, roughly. I can open the door for you. Could you give me a meow in the interim period? No, he's very patiently waiting. That deserves to be rewarded. Tomo. You may go, my son. Okay. I'm assuming these are jalapeno peppers, or other, chili peppers, basically. I'm trying to avoid tossing these into the top tier exclusively because there's only one thing in there right now. I think that would be, if that's the reasoning we're using, that would be incorrect. However, I'm really mulling it. I'm mulling it over here. I think at the end of the day, I'm putting jalapenos into the great tier. I couldn't find it in my heart to elevate them to top tier, but I love jalapenos as a pizza topping, and they are one of the few toppings that can really throw an augment into the taste function, A lot of stuff, when you put it on a pizza, you're like, I like chicken, I like pizza. Chicken on a pizza, no brainer. I like bacon, I like pizza. Bacon on a pizza, no brainer. Jalapenos are like, I jalapenos. I like pizza. Put them on a pizza. This is a different food. This is a spicy pizza. It's like transformative. That being said, why great instead of right? A couple of reasons. Jalapenos are a dice roll. Some of them have almost no spice component whatsoever. You bite into them, all you get is the bitter taste of the pepper's exterior with very minimal spice component. Unappetizing. Sometimes you get a 10 out of 10 jalapeno. Perfect amount of spice. Flavors in an area of effect, a radius around it. It's lovely. Sometimes you bite into one and you're like, this isn't a jalapeno. This jalapeno snuck off and had relations with a boot jalokia or ghost Carolina Reaper hot one. And that can put a damper. The worst thing is when you get and I know you're like, jalapenos aren't that spicy. Okay, Sean Evans, I get it. You're very masculine. But when you eat a pepper that's too hot, it sucks. Because let's say it's your first slice. Num, num, num. Hot pepper, hot pepper. Drink the water. Drink the milk. Drink a beer. Now you got a gallon of liquid in your stomach. You don't want to eat any more pizza. You split the pizza 2 ways. The other dude's eating 95%. Congrats, you blew it. That's why jalapenos are in the great stuff tier. But I do respect them. Mushrooms. Mushrooms, much like eggplants, I don't like them. But I eat a lot of them, and I'm trying to like them. I sort of don't get the enjoyment. These are the mushroom is like the ultimate poison pill in so many pizzas that I would otherwise get. Every pizza in Canada that's like the Great Canadian. It's got Canadian bacon. Italian sausage. Don't question it. Ham, a maple drizzle, 5 different kinds of mushrooms. Why are we a nation that has become flavor defined by the mushroom? It's only pizzas. I wonder if it's the same and if you go to like, the Netherlands. They're like the Great Dutch Pizza. Edam cheese. Tulips. I'm sorry. And every kind of mushroom. Maybe it's just a pizzeria thing. But anyway, I've gotten over it. And, eating pizza is one of the ways that I got over an aversion to mushrooms to a greater extent. I don't love the flavor of them. They offer nothing to me on a pizza. But they are ubiquitous. You know what? I have to be honest. At the end of the day, why were mushrooms in the good stuff tier? They were in the good stuff tier because they're always ordered on. It's like one of the things that people put in as a pizza ultimatum when you're group ordering. They're like, I'll eat any pizza, but it's got to have mushrooms on it. And you're like, okay, fine. So I elevated it there because I was like, a billion people can't be wrong. But in my head, I was like, you gave me a pizza, would I rather have corn, broccoli, mushrooms on it? I'd probably rather have corn or broccoli than mushrooms, so it can't be above them. That's where we're leaving it. That's where we're leaving it. Okay? Olives, controversially, are going to end up in the right stuff tier. I will admit there is a heavy personal bias here. I love olives to begin with. Black olives, green olives, Kalamata olives. Sometimes people say, I like olives, but it's got to be the green kind. Sometimes they say, I like olives, but it's got to be the black kind. I don't get it. An olive's an olive's an olive's an olive in my world, and I say thank you for the olives in all circumstances. I think an olive is a great pizza augment. It introduces a flavor you sometimes don't experience in pizza. Sour. Olives have not a strong sour Skittles sort of thing, but they got a little bit of sourness to them that you don't often get. Plus, a circular food, and this is scientifically proven in my head at least, a circular food tastes better on a pizza. Bacon notwithstanding, can be sliced circular, and can be sliced into circles, sliced into circles, sliced into circles. Sliced into weird mushroom shapes. What are you? Trees. No circles. What are you? No circles. I'm not saying there's a 1-to-1 ratio, but we got a lot of circle-rich foods coming up, though. So yeah, I mean, I love olives on pizza. Full stop. I don't have anything else to say. Onions. I gotta put this in the great tier. I like onions on a pizza. I have one little complaint about them, which is that they don't add that much. They don't take away anything. They give you a little, you know what I'm talking about. It's not really a crunch, but like they give you some resistance. It's like you're biting in and you're like, this is too easy. And then the onion's like, hold up. Wait a second. All right, you're good to go. So it's that little playfulness that keeps you coming back to a good pizza. But you're like, oh, this guy, he's actually gone insane. He's made enough videos ranking things that he's fully lost his mind. But oftentimes the onion, you run the risk of not even knowing that it's there. But the thing is, I think that's a yellow, white, Vidalia onion fallacy. If you put a red onion on the right pizza, a little acidic, maybe even a little spicy, a little sweet, you're going to know it's there. I like an onion on a pizza. So this is a weird one for me, because I think your salami. Yeah, I think your salami. Salami tastes, and I'm assuming this is pepperoni. Salami is drier, harder. This kind of looks more like kielbasa to me, but I'm going to call it pepperoni, because I think that's what they're going for. Salami, I think it's a great stuffed pizza ingredient. It's hard for me to not put this all the way up at the very top, to be honest. I love salami. On a pizza or not on a pizza, there's just a couple of things that keep it from being elevated into that golden infinity gauntlet tier. One, maybe it's just me, but the salami is firm enough that if you bite mid-slice of salami, oftentimes you're taking the whole slice, compromising the integrity of the pizza. The other one, and it feels strange to, decry salami this, when I was just saying the opposite thing about onions. Sometimes the flavor of a salami is a little bit too strong. It dominates the entire pizza with its strength. And sometimes you get a pizza, and this is a weird one, but it'll look like sauce, salami, cheese, and then it's like floating tectonic plates. You bite in, and then the whole top sheet comes off. You're just left with saucy dough, and then like a heart doctor's worst nightmare. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word cardiologist. Just like a sheet of grease, cheese, and cured Italian pork products. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to eat it, but like, come on. That's why salami's in the great tier instead of the right stuff. Pineapple is... I have no patience anymore for the pineapple on pizza debate. I find it to be... It's like 2019 to 2020's version of like, is a hot dog a sandwich? If you're trying to stoke arguments on Twitter about this, please just get over it. Let me spoil the pineapple on pizza argument for you. Some people like it and some people don't. Wow, it's crazy. Are they saying Yanny or Laurel? I don't know, dude. Get over. We're 30 years old and older on Twitter here. Mostly the people I follow. We're gonna argue about pizza? That's for my show, not for Twitter. Anyway, pineapple on pizza. Straight up, you're gonna hate this. It's in the right stuff, dude. That's right. NL, what are you doing? Look, I gotta tell you, there's some personal bias here, without a doubt. Spoilers, every single one of these tier lists is exclusively personal bias, for the most part. Pineapple pizza, also called Hawaiian pizza, also called ham and pineapple pizza, is... insanely popular in Canada. I would not be surprised, I'm being 100% sincere, I would not be surprised if this is the second or third most popular pizza variant in Canada. Number one has to be pepperoni. Number two, I'm assuming is either Hawaiian, which is just ham and pineapple, or some variant on like an all-dressed / supreme, which is, you know, like a couple of kinds of meat and a few kinds of vegetables usually. Green peppers, red peppers, you know, you get the idea. Man, what a bop. This is the kind of motivation I need to take my stand. I have eaten a lot of pineapple pizza in my life, and I love it. You might say, NL, it only fits on a ham and pineapple pizza. Try me. Put it on something else. I've had bacon pineapple jalapeno pizza. It's fantastic. Sweetness, saltiness, spiciness is beautiful. I will take pineapple pizza or pineapple on almost any kind of pizza. Pineapple goes well with chicken. Pineapple goes well with bacon. It goes well with a lot of stuff here. It might even go well with imitation crab. So I'm not trying to be a crusader for pineapple on pizza. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I will say, some of pineapple on pizza is not great when they just use the canned pineapple and it's way too sickly sweet. It's like biting into a Skittle or something like that. But when you get the good pineapple, it's worth it. Give it a try. I'm standing by this. My Canadian heritage won't let me do otherwise. Can I be honest? I don't know what you are. One sec. Brother, those are croutons. Are those croutons? Are you a crouton? It's got it all. It's got the browned edge, bready inside. This is where you bust out the Google Assistant. Croutons on pizza. It doesn't seem common, but those look like croutons to me. The only other thing I could imagine is that this is meant to be dough. But it doesn't make sense that some of the dough pieces are toasted on the outside, unless that's I have no idea. I honestly just have no answer. I gotta be honest with you. I've never heard of a crouton on a pizza. If it's dough, I'm glad that it doesn't look like dough very much, because it would obviously it's up there. Dough, cheese, tomato sauce. Yes. If it's croutons, I've never heard of this before in my life. Sorry to this man. Hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know what this man is. This one threw me for a loop. I don't know, is it like, it looks like a Cheddar Bay biscuit? People out there putting Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster on their pizza? Is it a potato? What are you, dude? So I'm assuming this is pepperoni. I can't deny it. Pepperoni goes in the top tier. I know we got a weighted list. It's very top heavy. You know why? Because lots of things go real well on a pizza. You know, if you wanted to make a more balanced list, you should have put way more garbage on this, you know? Glass, yeah, low tier, okay? These are all things that you can get from a pizza restaurant with good reason. Pepperoni. There's almost no pizza topping, I think, better than a thin slice of pepperoni that's been under the broiler just a little too long. The edges get a little bit dark and crispy. And when you bite in, it's like it's got a bite, and then you get that delicious pepperoni flavor. There's nothing like it. I have nothing negative to say about pepperoni. I mean, it's horrible for you. But it goes great on a pizza. And most of the time, it is bad for you, okay? But it's like bacon. Like, bacon is not good for you. But unless you're eating like a Baconator, usually you're having like 2 pieces of bacon with breakfast or something like that. 2 breakfast sausages is probably worse for you than 2 pieces of bacon. Heck, 2 pieces of toast is probably worse for you than the bacon in that case. Anyway, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm getting into dicey territory. With the pepperoni, you're not eating like half a stick of pepperoni on the pizza. Everything in moderation, but still. It's the ideal pizza topping. It's the first topping you think of beyond cheese if you think of cheese as a topping. Now we're in the same boat on this one. I don't know what you are. I'm going to assume that you are spinach, because I think that is the most common leafy green on a pizza. And I'm going to be straight up with you. Spinach, I think it goes great on a pizza. I don't think you need to build around either. If you don't like leafy greens, whatever. Spinach is such a good leafy green for pizzas, because when you cook it, it wilts to like it almost nothing, you know, when the water evaporates. So it's not like you're taking a bite of like it's like half salad, you know? I do eat some pizzas like that from time to time, and I'm for them. Cooked dough, iceberg lettuce, salsa, shredded cheddar cheese, grilled chicken. Chicken taco salad pizza. It's good. It might not sound good. By the way, use that to discredit me if you disagree with any of my opinions here. You're like, this man's eating some strange pizzas. But of all the leafy greens, spinach is not my favorite. I prefer kale. However, I think spinach works much better on a pizza. It wilts, maintains the flavor, good texture, adds a nice aesthetic element. So this is my rankings. Is there anything I would like to move? I think so, yes. I think I've decided I have made a mistake, and onions are merely a good topping. I'm looking. Now, if I had to rank it in order, I mean, I'm just going to level with you. Pepperoni's the best pizza topping. I think I'd rather have olives than bacon. I think I would rather have bacon than pineapple, though. Yeah. Now, where do we go from here? Honestly, I'm going to keep chicken at number 1 in the great stuff tier. I think I would just do that. You know, I'm going to put spinach over jalapenos. It's going to be divisive, but I like that green component. Now, here, I think I'm honestly like an onion, tomato, pepper, second cheese kind of guy. Here, I like it as is, straight up. And here, I'm not changing anything. As weird as imitation crab is, I would rather have it than eggplant. I'm working on it. And I don't know what you are, so none for me, thanks. No croutons on my pizza. There you go. Pepperoni, the best pizza topping, along with olives, bacon, and pineapple. A little controversial, but hey, that's what we're here for. If you enjoyed the episode, hey, click the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And again, thank you to Honey's Anime English for making the tier list here. More will come in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.